You're listening to the Young Buck Old Buck podcast, presented by Forest and Sky, sponsored by Chops & Co. Public Market.
There we go. Heads up.
Stretch him up. Dead bird. Dead bird. Get it, Sky. Get it.
Good job, buddy. Flopping.
Land of the free, home of the brave. Welcome back to the Young Buck Old Buck podcast. This is your host, Young Buck Daniel DeForge, joined along with my co-host, Old Buck Bruce Smith. And if you're watching the video, you see we have a special guest with us, Mr. Jake Niven. Jake, how we doing?
Doing great.
We're doing good. We just came off of family camp. Jake is in town. Jake, tell the audience, where are you currently residing?
I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina.
And what in the world brought you to North Carolina?
Wow. Definitely God. It's where I was born and raised for a little while. We're back in the house, 1901 farmhouse that I was born in. And we're trying to restore and refresh it so we can do some ministry on the property.
That's awesome. And so Jake and the family were here at camp this week, and we had 4th of July family camp.
Quite a week. It's always a big week. We don't really partake in a whole lot of it. We're drop-ins.
Yeah.
We refer to ourselves as drop-ins. But it's a great week. And man, what a week for weather.
Oh, it was so much better compared to last week.
And I didn't know Chris was connected like that. The Lord just blessed him in a way that I didn't know he even had that kind of contact. So my nod to Chris.
Yeah. Well, Bruce, it has been a while since we've been together. In full transparency, we did record an episode 2 weeks ago.
Not once.
No.
Not twice. But here we are. Okay.
Here we are.
Sorry.
I may or may not have forgotten to hit the record button again. We need a producer. If you want to come produce these shows, hit up forest.sky.hunting@gmail.com and we will gladly take advantage of that, and you will get paid a whopping $0 because we make zero
recognition. It's all about recognition. That's all it is.
You get to hang out with a couple knuckleheads.
There you go.
Anyways, all right, before we jump into who Jake is and just hear a little bit of his story and his connection in the outdoor world. First of all, you guys need to know this is a man that is gifted in connections and connecting with people and connecting people to others. And so I'm excited to kind of dive into that a little bit and hear from Jake. But let's start with a little bit of an outdoors update. I came off shooting Total Archery Challenge a few weeks ago, had a blast. We shot up at Boyne Mountain, connected with Will and Carter and some of the QU guys, and had a crew together up there. So that was really cool. Bruce, we went fishing for the first time.
Finally. I cannot believe that in all the years I've been doing this, it was June before we got out on the boat.
Yeah, that was pretty sad.
It's been kind of a crazy year.
Would you like to tell the audience how many bass you caught?
I knew he would go there. So, you take a guy out and you give him your stuff and you give him lures and you take him to the best spot on the lake and he catches a couple of fish and all of a sudden he's better than you. So let me acknowledge that Daniel caught 2, one nice one and one little guy, off the exact spot I told him he'd catch one, and I caught 0. And you know what? Wait, I'm not done. Hold that thought. I give the nod to him. I will get my revenge. And I'm done.
It may have been a Jesus Peter situation. Hey, cast over there.
I'm just saying.
Hey, they were biting my Cinco. I don't know what was wrong with yours, but yeah. Awesome. Jake, talk to us a little bit about North Carolina, the outdoors world. You're an outdoorsman. What is like the thing that North Carolinians,
Mm-hmm.
North Carolinians are doing this time of year?
Yeah. Well, it's really hot in the South. So when we come here in June and July in Michigan, it's refreshing. This is our April, May, basically. So this week, yes, Bruce, this was incredible weather. I mean, incredible weather. Most days in North Carolina, you're changing 3 shirts a day if you're outside. This time of year, people are in the pool, they're at the lakes, they're boating, they're doing a lot of stuff like that. There's really not many brave souls like me working outdoors every day.
Yeah.
But if they are, it's usually work, not for much pleasure, except fishing if you're at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. That's about the coolest part of the day you're going to get. A lot of gardening, but that's really what's going on.
When does the first like legit hunting season hit
Yeah.
the Carolinas?
So our deer are like Michigan deer. I'm used to hunting Ohio deer, so it's a little bit sad. We usually in the woods by September.
Okay.
Spring turkey is fantastic there. That is one really nice thing in North Carolina. Turkeys are plentiful. But as far as the deer, it's more just filling the freezer than trying to get a trophy buck. So
yeah. So you mentioned you used to do a lot of hunting in Ohio because that's where you used to live. To tell us about that, your Ohio adventure.
Yeah. So my wife and I met in Cincinnati, Ohio. We spent 18 years there, and we did ministry for 15 of those 18 years. We met in Cincinnati at college, and then we have 2 kids, 11 and 9 years old, and we've done ministry up until basically full time, and COVID hit, and it was really an eye opener of just what the world was going through and how we need to focus on family. And so we prayed about a lot of decisions, trying to figure out where we wanted to move. We had a lot of opportunities across the country, but we felt the Lord calling us if we could go somewhere to create a launching pad. So what basically our time in North Carolina is trying to be around family, but ultimately is to be in a place that we can connect people in ministry so that we can always go back to our home, completely travel as much as we want to continue to do ministry. But North Carolina is just a place, it's a home base. And so we want our place to be a place of respite as well. We've added an addition on our farmhouse. We added some things to the property. We've got 21 peach trees, blackberries, blueberries, strawberries, garden, you name it. We're trying to put fire pits all around the property in the woods and stuff to really bring men. That's what we're focused on right now. I am to focus on the heart of men so they can be good fathers and good husbands. And that's our intentionality. It's hard because Cincinnati was 18 years of comfort. I say that comfort because it's our family, and so is Bear Lake in Michigan. And so North Carolina is almost like our mission field right now. I thought it was like going back to be around family, but the Lord has pruned us and trimmed and done a lot of work on our hearts there because there's been some pain in that.
Sure. Yeah. Wow. Well, that is incredible.
So this is your ministry? Are you tied to anyone?
Yeah. So this is our ministry, and we partner with other ministries to continue to elevate them. And so our thing is, I with being in ministry long enough, it's a long season if you do it by yourself. It's a great season if you do it in community.
Sure.
Right. And so we see a lot of pastors, a lot of youth pastors, a lot of families that are trying to do this alone. Many pastors, I would say, they're on islands. And so my intentionality is just to go and just see how they're doing. If they need replenishment, we find them a place of replenishment. And we pour into them, whether it's through connecting to another ministry or with discipleship that we have in-house.
Do you guys have a name for your?
So that's to come. I don't want to throw any spoilers out. The Lord has laid a lot of things on our heart there, but we're in the phase of building right now of all the stuff. And then once that's done, we will kind of launch that piece as a more of a partnership to show where we feel like the Lord's calling us.
Well, it's cool. I'm really I gotta tip my hat to you because I think men in general have so lost their way in so many ways, and the focus wasn't men for many years, and we're supposed to all be leaders and all be strong and all. You know what? Everybody falls. Everybody needs support. So I'm proud of you for what you're doing. It's a big step of faith to take on something like that. Yeah. There's a lot of knuckleheads like me out there that need a lot of help. So I don't know. Maybe I'll show up in South Carolina or North Carolina.
Oh, we would love it. We would love it. Yeah, we love to come back here to replenish, and find our friends that know our hearts, that know where we're at, so we can continue to give life and new life to the people there. I spent the first year there just meeting the people. It was like just going into the community, just like, who are you? What's your background? Because there's a stereotype in the South. Everybody goes to church, bless your heart, and everybody's a good old Christian, right? Well, there's a lot of people that have that mentality, but they're stuck in tradition. And so there's a lot of walls that are up, and now we're starting to see the Lord really break down those walls, and men really find true freedom, and it's incredible.
Awesome.
Yeah, that is incredible. You talk a little bit about the men's ministry, the men's groups that you do, and kind of the format of those.
Yeah. So our men's ministry is 3 words: freedom, fulfillment, and purpose. And with that is, how do you find freedom? You're not going to find it in the world. How do you find fulfillment? Most of the things people turn to, it's a nightly cure. It's a weekly cure. Until they find Jesus, they won't find purpose. They won't find freedom. They won't find fulfillment. And so with that, it's amazing. We've been in a small group a year and a half with just men. We meet every Wednesday night. But now we're going through a challenge that my friend in Ohio, Ben Steiger, he runs a ministry called Blood Brothers Ministry. It's Heart of the Outdoors is what it used to be. And he's all about the outdoor world, right? So I see the North Carolina friends that I have, and they have the same heart, right? They want to be a great father. They want to be a great husband. But there's a lot of things. And so in my men's group, there's 11 of us. None of us go to the same church. It's absolutely incredible. Probably one of the best things I've ever been a part of. There's several that have moved in. They're transplants. We've got a guy from Colorado, a guy that we'd call him a North Carolinian. He's been there 30 years, but he's from California. Then we got a guy that lived in the Pacific Northwest for a long time. And so we're continuing to culture that. But right now we're in a 6-month journey, a 6-month challenge called the Everyman Challenge. And so we are focusing on 6 main words. And it just really taps into, heart, mind, soul, strength, loving others, and spreading that out. So we have intentionality to it. We're really focused on not just doing a Bible study, not just we want to peel back the layers of the onion. We really want to get to the heart of men. What's really going on in your life. So
that's awesome. Well, hey, you mentioned your time in Ohio, and I've received pictures from you. We've had conversations while you're in a deer stand and you got 30 deer around you. And I've had the pleasure a few years ago. I don't know, it's probably 6-7 years ago now. Anna and I came down to Cincinnati and got to see your old place. And you changed my life because you introduced me to a chip. Have you ever experienced the power of the Grippo?
No.
There are these chips in Cincinnati called Grippos. And by golly, it is the best chip I've ever had in my entire life.
Really?
It is a barbecue chip that just melts in your mouth. You know those Amish crack donuts?
Yes, very well, actually.
Okay, yeah, think of that in a chip edition.
Danger.
A barbecue chip edition.
Danger.
They're so dangerous, Bruce, that they sell them in a box. A box with a 2-pound bag inside of it. Yes. The unfortunate event is, as I'm driving from North Carolina to Michigan this week, Cincinnati was not on the way.
No, and he was my guy, man. He would come from Ohio, and he'd bring these boxes of Grippos up to me.
And you held out on me.
Oh,
yeah. They were stashed in the box in the basement somewhere, weren't they?
You got to have a special place in my heart to get into my Grippos.
No. My Cincinnati thing is, I was introduced to Skyline Chili.
Skyline Chili. Yep. You either love it or you hate it.
When Joe lives right he lives in Milford, outside of Cincy.
Good place.
And he introduced us to all that.
So I couldn't bring Grippos, but I brought some cheer wine from the Holy Land.
There you go.
Cheer wine.
Cheer wine.
I
know it well.
This is a cherry, basically drink for 100 plus years in North Carolina. It used to be only sold in North Carolina. Now they've spread out. But it's like a cherry Dr. Pepper.
Ooh.
It's really nice. It's more cherry than anything else. So there's a little.
I love that. I love cherry.
Thank you.
So there's a little gift from North Carolina.
Love it.
Hopefully Grippos will be in the near future, but I knew I had to bring something.
Well, what we should do is keep those on ice and get some Grippos and tap them together.
Do you think you can buy Grippos off of Amazon?
Oh, we'll get you Grippos. Don't worry.
We got enough connections. We'll get them.
I'll make this happen.
Yeah,
I'll make this happen.
All right, Jake, talk to us a little bit about your upbringing in the hunting world. How did you first get introduced to the sport of hunting, and what was that journey like?
Yeah. Well, I grew up basically with a single mother who loved to get me involved in guys that were really good in the church. And usually the guys who are in the church, they take me out and one-on-one and help me in areas where just let me come alongside them and learn some things. And so I always loved the outdoors. I was afraid of heights when I was young, though. So that was interesting. And I also had, just a love for just hiking and whatnot. But I remember vividly when I was 10 years old, I got my first shotgun for Christmas. And that changed everything for me. They throw a milk jug full of water in the air and just shoot it out of the air. And just the biggest joy. We didn't have clay pigeons. We have targets like that. We just had used whatever we could in the backyard. And I started plinking out when I was young with a BB gun and, probably shooting things I shouldn't shoot. But really fell in love with the shotgun. It's probably one of my favorite guns, probably the one I have most of as well. It's easy to pull out. It's universal. You can use it for deer. You can use it for turkey, squirrel, rabbit, whatever you want, And I've just had people along the way just take me out. And it's one of the ways that you could get away from the busyness of life. And so that was kind of the beginning of that. I've had the opportunity to go out and do some high-powered rifle hunting as well. You couldn't do that in Ohio, though. Until a few years ago, they just had the straight wall cartridge. So it was just shotgun, basically, is where I probably got so proficient in that. I enjoy it so much that I got to shoot a lot of trap here at Bear Lake this week. It's a nice little bonus.
Brag about yourself. 10 for what?
10 for 10 on your single shot shotgun.
Ooh.
So that was a nice feeling.
That's pretty good.
It's encouraging to be able to do that. Even our men's group, it was nice to be able to clean them up. It's nice when those guys all right, everybody shoot their rounds, and that was where I won. I did miss a long rifle shot. We shot 120 yards with a red dot. It's very difficult to shoot that far with a red dot. So
I believe that.
Yeah, it was fun, but I did get beat on that category. But shotgun, I'm still holding the championship belt for that.
That's awesome.
Okay,
I had the opportunity to shoot against some Duck Dynasty brothers back in 2019, and I switched guns mid tournament. Al Robertson was there. Mid tournament, I switched guns. Susie's like, bad idea. I ended up losing by one shot because I switched guns in the middle of that.
Oh man. Yep. You can't be switching up against the Robertson
when
boys.
You're on them. Why do you switch? It's
so
like
it was like a 3-day turn. It was a 3-day tournament, and this guy that came in. So I was shooting really well. They supplied the Orvis shotguns, over unders, beautiful guns, shooting over this awesome lake, and we're just having a blast. We did a day shoot, a night shoot. I mean, it was incredible. This guy next to me, older fellow, late 60s, was just bragging about his gun. I was like, well, let me get some shots on that. Well, when I had the opportunity to shoot the shots, it was whenever he was out of the competition now. So I was like, all right, well, I'll use the next round. Probably one of the worst decisions I made in shooting ever. I missed one shot, which gave it all up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brutal.
It's like losing a 4-pounder alongside the boat, man.
I was going to say I know what that's like, but I don't. Okay, so you grew up, older men poured into you. That's how you got introduced into hunting, which is awesome. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's almost too perfect of why we do this.
That's exactly. I mean, that's, one of our first thoughts going into it was that's exactly what we want to do. Provide opportunities.
Yep. Yeah. The heartbeat of what you're doing, taking kids out, give them one-on-one attention is what they need. They'll remember that forever. It's the story I told you this week. I've been in youth ministry back in 2011, right? You're 30 years old. I have a 30-year-old youth pastor. I was his youth pastor when he was 16. He called me this winter. He says, hey, I want you to be a leader at a trip in July. You have a son that's 6th grade. Can he bring him too? So not only did I pour into this kid in 2011, now he gets to pour into my son that many years later. A month ago, I get a call from him. Well, actually, it's a text message with a picture. It's a kid from my other youth ministry when I was in Mason, Ohio. There's a picture of him. He's 18 years old. He goes, hey, do you know this guy? I was like, yeah. He said, hey, he's going to be a leader with you on this trip. So now it's 2 different kids in our youth ministry that we poured many years into. But, you don't always see the fruit, right? Yeah. But this is a reminder, God working upstream. And it happens in 2 weeks. I'm bringing Henry back to Ohio with me to be able to be a leader on this trip of over 600 students. Henry just to go in the funnel of that and be able to experience, a different movement of not me being there, but also me being there. Right?
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's what it's about. And that's what discipleship's about. And so that's really cool. Well, hey, let's take a quick break. We'll hear from our sponsor and we'll be right back.
We like to thank our sponsors, Chops & Co. Public Market. Chops & Co. specializes in locally grown, responsibly raised, high-quality pork products, direct from their farm to your table. Located in Jones, Michigan, give them a call at 269-244-1999.
All right, and we're back. Okay, so Jake, we talked about how you got introduced into hunting. Now let's talk a little bit about what you're currently doing with it. You and I have talked before, and you have recently taken a trip out west, and I want to hear about that trip.
Yeah, so this is my second year going out. This year I got to bring some North Carolinians with me, and we did a work trip out there. But last year we went on a turkey hunt. And so the Merriam turkey is out west. It's a little bit different than what we're used to, the Eastern here. And I wasn't as intrigued to hunt Eastern as much as I was Merriam. It is a beautiful, beautiful turkey.
Oh, there.
And the way they move over that land, right? And, you know, I may like pretty big guy here, but moving 14 miles in the Rocky Mountains, that is a blast. And the adrenaline just keeps you going. You're up at 4 o'clock in the morning and you're moving. You know, you're finding, there's a forest we hunt down near Pagosa Springs in Colorado. It's like southwest Colorado. And it's beautiful, beautiful country. It's right on the San Juan National Forest. So my buddy's property, which you will be there one day, it's 100 yards to this, like I call it the gate to heaven. You just open the gate and it's all the hunting you can imagine, right? You walk in, you're quiet enough, you'll see elk just in the season we go, because it's turkey season. You won't see them in elk hunting season, but you'll see the elk just gathered up because it's after winter, about April. You'll see them still gathered, and it just feels like the old song, you know, Home on the Range, right?
Sure.
And it is unreal. It will knock your socks off when we experience it the first time. You just get chills. The amount of elk are out there, and you'll see all kinds of wildlife. Mule deer, they like prance around like a fairy tale. You know, you'll see coyote, you'll see turkey, and all that. And so we chased the hills of Colorado for 4 or 5 days with a group of 14 guys from Missouri and a few of my guys just chasing after turkey. And it is so cool.
Wow, that's awesome. So that's a lot of running and gunning type stuff.
Yeah,
huh?
you can find a spot and sit. You know, if you're an old buck, you can definitely relax and call them in. You know, pull out the box call, pull out the mouth call, whatever you feel. But if you're wanting to really just experience the adrenaline rush and chasing them down, you get them gobbling, man, it's game over. And then you just roost them for the night, come back in the morning, and it's game on.
That's awesome.
I mean, we've just fallen in love with it. So, I mean, I was in love with it. And it's just the last couple of years, Daniel's just developed a whole new appreciation, you know, for turkey hunting in general. I mean, it's my thing. That's what I love doing it.
Yeah. And it's quickly become my favorite thing for sure. Now, what is the main difference? Maybe don't of the Merriam and the Eastern. Is there the way you hunt them and approach them? Do you do
feels the same?
Different?
No, it feels the same. Yeah, you're approaching them the same way. You know, you're calling them the same. You're working the birds really the same. I would just, from what my experience is, a couple times I've been there, is really just how the color of them and maybe the size of them. Yeah.
Sure.
But they all look and feel about the same. They taste the same. So, yeah.
All right. So 14 guys went on this trip. How many killed?
None of the guys got killed, thankfully. So that's good. We did get 5 birds in 3 days,
Cool.
and total of 7 after the whole trip was over. We had some young guys we had some 20-year-old guys on this trip, and they missed a few. They missed a few shots. They need to work on their
Opportunity.
Yeah.
We won't talk about missed shots.
Yeah.
We'll cover that
I
again
fit right
some other
into
time.
this group.
Yeah.
You need to get him out there so he can miss out there too.
Well, I think he realized based on the
Hey, we're getting dialed in, pal. I got that old 28 gauge that's ready to rock and roll.
It's good. It's good. We'll just need to do some target shooting before you go,
Well,
right?
you see how long one for
apparently.
one lasts.
Yeah.
You are jinxing me.
No, I'm not.
This is
jinxing
terrible.
you.
Do not ruin this gun for me.
I'm not.
I
wouldn't think of
sell
it.
the Stoker because it had some bad juju.
I told you
Don't
that barrel,
put bad
bent
juju.
barrel. That Stoker had a bent barrel out of the box.
We might need to give him glasses and put some chapstick on the left
Maybe.
side
It might
to
be
keep
that.
his eye on point.
Tie his head down on the gun. There's all kinds of things we can do.
Anyways,
We love him.
Is he pulling the trigger or squeezing the trigger?
Hey, nice and gentle pull.
All right.
Nice and
Okay.
gentle pull.
Okay.
All right. So Jake, tell us a little bit about how you approach now the the hobby of hunting, the outdoors world, how do you approach it with your own kids, and maybe others that you have a relationship with as well?
Yeah. I would say with my own kids, Henry's really getting into fishing quite a bit more. And so I just like with sports, I really want to just tap into what you want to do and how can I spend time alongside with you. And so, even if it's just going out and my introduction for people is always target shooting. If you get them in target shooting, I think they'll have a joy to hang with you longer to go out and do the hunt. As you start them young, there's a lot of patience involved. And so if you want to, I started bird hunting and rabbit hunting and things that move. Squirrel hunting was real easy for me as well because you're always moving, Deer hunting is more my time with the Lord in the woods and just really just kind of setting back. It's my refreshment piece, texting people that I haven't talked to in a while, praying for them, and really getting into the Word. God, what do you want to speak to me in this quiet moment? And so if I want to teach, if I want to be on the move, if I want to be with my kids or other people's kids or other men, I'm usually doing things. It's kind of like going on your first date to a movie. I don't want to go take a guy just to deer hunt with me because there's not a lot of talking. I want to really be able to interact. And so that's kind of the approach I'm at right now is like, really anytime I can set up skeet shooting, anytime I can set up a time to have target practice or just something fun to make a little bit of competition and have some food or a coffee afterwards is nice.
Yeah, I like that.
So do I. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, that's a newer perspective that we've heard on this show. It's a good reminder. I mean, it's part of why I love waterfowl hunting because you can kind of do more of that interactive and discussion type stuff. But even I think sometimes just taking the pressure of the hunt off of the first, like building the relationship and kind of laying that foundation, I think is a good reminder, and it's important. Yeah,
I think a lot of the kids, our heart is always to continue to pour to them and let them find the fun through that, right? But sometimes our mission is like, oh, we got to get him the biggest deer we can find. We know where to set him up, And I remember that. When I was like 11 years old, this guy put me on a great stand to the point I got hypothermia. I didn't dress well enough. I threw up out of the stand. Oh. It was the worst. It was the most memorable hunt, right? But it was one of the worst hunts. I'll never forget the hunt, right? But it was really boring for me at 11. I'm just sitting there by myself. He didn't sit with me. He's on the other side of the property. I've got a 270 rifle, and I'm just like, how much longer do I sit here? This is way before cell phones. Right. How long do I sit here? I sat there so long that I shivered myself away. I didn't know where to use the bathroom. There's a milk jug behind me. I was just shaking. And so I take that experience a little bit and just kind of move that to, what else could I do from a kid that maybe lives in the city if he comes out here and take him along the way. Like there's a lot more to guns, and I want you to feel comfortable around this. I don't want you to feel like it's just a one shot, and you're done.
Yeah, I don't think you're doing anybody right to take them out, like you said, to sit in a stand, even if you're with them.
Even if we're with
because
them.
The first thing you're telling them is you can't talk. You got to be quiet. Keep your eyes moving. It can get deathly boring.
That bag of Grippos is loud in the woods too.
Oh,
so
yeah,
but it's worth it.
Yeah.
Good. Well, and Bruce, you got any questions for Jake before I move on?
No, actually, I just love what you're doing. I really love what you're doing. I think it's awesome.
Cool. Well, that was kind of the main meat of the show. Let's now turn to what the Lord's teaching us. And with Jake being our guest, Jake, I want to kind of put the ball in your court. What is something that the Lord has been putting on your heart and teaching you here recently?
Yeah, it's good. I think as you progress, you look at, that's why I love I listen to this every week. I love having Bruce in this because just the wisdom of our friends and our older friends bring us, they've raised kids, right? We're still raising kids. And you've got even younger kids than I do. And so the Lord's really teaching me to continue to listen more than talk, to lean into Him and to always go back to the Word for direction. And it hasn't failed me yet. Right. And weekly, I think the two things, my highlight of the week, if I miss, sermons, I miss Bible studies, I miss things. It's like, all right, how's the fruit of Spirit in your life? Right. And are you putting on the full armor of God? And those are the two areas that I see the most, even when I'm, with my brothers, my men. And it's have you put on the full armor of God? because Satan wants to attack anytime he can. He's prowling around like a roaring lion, waiting for someone to devour. And he's coming after the heart of men. He's coming after the heart of men. It's easy. It's so easy. You get frustrated. You get stressed at work. You try to cope with it in some way, right? And so how do you do that? You've got to run to the Father. And for me, I love that song, "Run to the Father." My heart needs a surgeon. My soul needs a friend.
Amen.
Right? And that's it. And so that full armor of God, it's like some weeks I'm really good at putting on the helmet, really good putting on the belt, but I've missed my shoes, right? And so that's my practice right now, is just putting on the full armor of God, because Satan's schemes, they're tricky. He always wants to come in and just sneak right down the middle. He loves putting wedges in families. He loves putting distractions out there. And then how can I tap into the fruit of the Spirit? Where can I be more patient? Where can I be more kind and loving and joyful and have hope, because you can get lost with what the world wants to tell you. But if you go back to that, there's no law. There's no law in the fruit of the Spirit. If you give those 9 words to any human being, they're like, wow, those are all life-giving words, right? So that's my practice right now.
Yeah, man, I love that. Those 2 questions: how's my armor and how's my fruit? I mean, that's some good checkpoints.
Yeah.
Evaluation.
Every morning. I mean, what's going on with our family right now. I feel like, man, I got to double up on my armor every day. And I love that. That men should think that. Yeah, for sure.
And something the Lord's been teaching me, because we're doing a farming theme at camp, and I'm actually speaking here next week at camp. And just when it comes to the fruit of the Spirit, it is one fruit. It is not multiple fruits. It's one fruit. There's different flavors, if you will, but it's one fruit. So you can't say like, oh, I'm gonna have love, but I'm not going to have self-control.
You got to have it.
Yeah, it all works along with each other. And so, that reminder and kind of, heart check point is
because
really
I'm patient, I can be more loving. But because I have self-control, I can be more loving. Because I have joy, I have.
Right.
Yeah.
They all play into one another. It's just a circle.
Yep.
They all play into one another. And if you drop one out and that circle opens up, you just open yourself up to more problems.
That's right.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Jake, we're going to do some blitz questions because you're a guest, and we want to know a little bit more about you in a fun way. So we are going to just blitz through some questions. Old Buck, feel free to chime in. Okay. If you see me taking a big breath, you just jump right in there. Okay.
Sure.
All right. I know you need more time to think sometimes.
No. No.
Okay. All right. Jake, dream hunt.
It's coming. My buddies invited me to do an elk hunt archery in Colorado.
Ooh. Archery elk hunt.
I want to do a bear hunt, but I think I got to get the elk hunt out of the way. These lotteries are hard to get into.
Yep.
I would say, if not that one, the dream would be bear in Alaska.
All right. Favorite brand of shotgun?
Benelli.
Favorite caliber in the shotgun?
12 gauge.
All-time favorite gun, period?
Remington 870, 12 gauge.
Shoot a bow?
I do.
What do you shoot?
Truthfully, it's an old Matthews. You're going to laugh because I've got 2 crossbows and 1 compound bow. I shoot my crossbows more than I do my compound.
Well, we won't pick on you because you're a guest. That's
good.
I own a crossbow.
It
should. Stays in the case.
That's okay.
I still
my
shoot a
Raven
regular
R10 has killed some serious stuff at 90 yards.
That's the crossbow.
I can't shoot my bow that far.
Favorite snack while hunting?
Wow, that's pretty good because I kind of fast during my hunts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I like to take a lot of water in and fast during that. That's when that's my alone time with the Lord. So if I can, that's what I do.
I am so convicted right now.
I know. We got
I
little
am so
Debbie's.
convicted. Half of my
oatmeal
pack,
cream
half
pies.
my pack
Yeah.
is snacks and drinks and yeah, it's
Hey,
bad.
You're tasting the sweetness of God while you hunt, Bruce.
That's what it is. And there's
Exactly.
no harm, no foul in that, right?
No.
I think liquid IV is the closest to the stuff that I'm getting in there. But yeah, I drink a lot of water when I'm out hunting. So
What is your favorite piece of gear or equipment other than the firearm?
I'm kind of spoiled with my friend who's got into some Badlands gear. Pretty blessed with some stuff like that, and just I'm the hunter that used the same stuff for 20 years, right? It was camo. I was still killing stuff, right? It didn't matter how flashy I looked, right?
Right.
These guys came in with new brands every few years, Sitka and stuff like that. But then he put me in some Badlands. I was like, whoa, this stuff's comfy. Because I was out, in the spring, and it was cool in the morning and warmed up, and it was breathable. And I was like, okay, all right, I see what you're doing here. So socks are my biggest thing. We've talked about socks for the years. Darn tough. I mean, I've got them on right now. I have too many pairs of darn tough. That is the sock. You can run in them for 3 days, and they won't stink.
You did
I'll
turn me on to
them.
Darn Tough, and I'm grateful you did, because that changed my life.
I don't know that guys really think that through that well. The guys getting in a problem with their feet,
Yep.
when they're out, and you really do need to invest in the best socks that you can afford.
A sock and a good
Take care of your
shoe.
feet.
I would give up clothing. I'd hunt in blue jeans and a shirt just to
Yep.
have a sock and a good shoe.
Well, and I remember you even telling me too of like, you can spend $300 on boots, but if you don't have a good sock, it doesn't matter.
That's a waste of money.
Mm.
And I've hunted all that terrain out there, and like you said, socks and boots. You can hunt in anything, but if your feet aren't right,
Yeah.
you're done.
Your feet will sweat. Your feet will get cold.
Mhm.
You've got to do that. Yeah.
If you could hunt with anyone in the world, who would it be?
I don't have an answer for that because it's hard to limit to just one person.
Top 3?
Probably some guys in this room.
Oh, wow. All right. Well,
Colorado, here we come.
I know. We're just going to have to make that happen.
Well, if Joe, I told you before, I tried to get Joe to get me on that hunt years ago. And if you're listening, Joe, you know what I'm talking about. Jake could be my dude.
The archery elk hunt.
Yeah, I tried to get that.
We
set up
all
a long
need to
time
get in
ago.
a lot better shape before that happens. Because I tell you
yeah.
what, I just did total archery challenge and I was sore for like a week.
It takes, I'd say, 6 to 8
Yeah.
weeks of good training.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably as close as you've experienced hunting out west.
Yeah.
Because you've got to get 8,000. You're at 8,000 feet to start when you're there. That's where you sit most of the time.
I'm going to have to pack 2 inhalers.
And a tank of oxygen.
And a tank of oxygen.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Jake, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. It's been a pleasure having you as a friend. And yeah, it's just fun to get to know your heart a little bit and to hear that and have the audience hear that and hear a little bit about your experience. And I think there's some really good nuggets I'm walking away with this, and I hope our audience is as well.
Absolutely. It was really good stuff. Appreciate
Well, I got a little
everything
gift for you guys
you said.
before I go. I know I brought cheer wine, but I love doing ministry, and I've got 2 things for you here. I've got one for Daniel and one for Bruce, and they can share at some point here. But I've got a book here. This is called Reclaiming Masculinity. It's 7 biblical principles for being what the man God wants you to be. And this is for Bruce, and if you want to put it on the Old Buck, Young Buck podcast, you can. It's a good book. And then I brought one for you and your kids,
Oh.
Dave and the Very Big Giant. So
I love that.
I work with the Good Book Company. They're based out of the UK. We have a Charlotte office, and these are 2 of the books we've published, and it is a publishing company.
Yeah.
And so we have a fantastic line of children's books that you guys have at the Bear Lake Bible Camp,
Mm-hmm.
and some things there. But just, continue to just be a reader, to be a learner, and I
Mhm.
think that's the way to go. So I wanted to share those with you and continue to pass that on as a legacy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That
Thank
says
you,
a lot
Victor.
about the book. Christopher Ashe has got a quote right on the cover. I think the world of Christopher Ashe. He's a great guy.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
And big shout out to the Good Book Company. You turned me on to them a couple years ago, and we absolutely love the Good Book Company, and my kids love it. And it's stuff you can trust. It's stuff that you can not be leery of or fearful of. I've never read anything where it's made me question the content that's in these books. So some awesome stuff.
Cool. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks
Yeah.
so much.
All right. Well, thanks for listening to this week's podcast. Listen, we're trying. We're going to try to get back in the saddle. Summer is in full swing. We need to do better. So hopefully we can be more consistent coming up. But if you have any questions or suggestions, email forest.sky.hunting@gmail.com. Again, forest.sky.hunting@gmail.com. And we will catch you next time.